Hello, welcome back to my channel, Preparing for Retirement, where we are, in fact, preparing for retirement. My name is Martha, and my official retirement date is January of 2026. So today I thought that I would talk about goals, since it is the end of 2024, and it's the beginning of 2025 in just a few days. I like to take this time, as I think most of us do, to go over the goals that we had for the previous year and to assess them, to see where you're meeting them, to see where you maybe didn't quite meet them, or maybe you kind of fell by the wayside, as well as set your goals for the coming year. It's also a great time to look at the goals that you have for your retirement and to decide if you need to tweak that a little bit, maybe tweak the date. As you can see, my elderly Chihuahua has decided to join us in this venture. That's Coco. So if you can see behind me, it is a rainy, yucky day, and I thought this was a great day to go ahead and film my thoughts and work through my goals on this video. So the first thing I have is a personal goal. A few years ago, I had a surgery that took me from being fairly active to pretty sedentary. And it's been really difficult to keep weight off, even though I do eat quite healthy. It's been very, very difficult to keep the weight off without moving. And so my goal for this year is to move more. I used to jog. I've been told by the surgeon that jogging is out of the question for me now, but it doesn't mean that I can't be more active. I can't walk fast. Maybe someday I'll jog again. Who knows? I didn't really enjoy it, but it really made it easier to keep weight off doing that. So that's one goal for this year, is to get more active. When we do retire, my husband and I, he's already retired, but when we do retire here and we're going to sell our house and we're going to move overseas, we're going to do slow travel, there's going to be a lot of movement involved. And I used to love to hike. I used to love to just walk all day and explore. And those are all things I really want to do. And right now they're really painful. So it's something that I need to work through, and it's a goal that I've set for myself. So that's personally one of my goals. Financially, well, we've had a really good year. I think many people have, especially if you are in the market, you've had a good year. I'm not saying anything about the economy. I'm only talking about the market. I know it's been a very difficult year in the economy for many people, so I don't want to lose sight of that. And if that's you, my heart goes out to you. I am truly sorry. I've mentioned before in other videos, quite a bit of our story was basically coming back and rising out of the ashes. We lost everything in the dot-com bubble. So I know what it feels like, and I really do feel for you. So just do the best you can, soldier through, do what you have to do. It won't last forever. So keep that in mind. It won't last forever. I felt like it was going to last forever around about 2001, but it doesn't. Eventually, you just keep doing the right things, the things that you have to do, and you can come out of it. So financially, we've been able to we were able to meet our 2024 goals. We maximized our savings. I was very pleased about that, with the amount of money that we were able to put into savings. We kept our spending low, despite the fact that we're renovating our house and preparing it for sale at the end of the year. Now, we did get a raise, merit increase, at the end of 2024, this month actually, and I've already gone in and I've adjusted my 401k percentages so that I've increased it by 1%. And I may go in and increase it by another percent. We'll see. But I have increased it by 1%. I will also be increasing the amount of money that goes into our brokerage account, commensurate with that, with that bonus. So every time I get a bonus, I always increase the amounts that go to savings, whether it's tax advantaged, like a 401k, or it's just into a brokerage savings. I always increase it. I didn't see that money before, so I can take a portion of it and I can put that into those savings accounts. Now, in terms of our goals that we had, I was able to maximize our HSA savings, our health savings account, and I was able to maximize our IRA contributions. And then, hi, buddy. Hi. Hi. And then I'm continuing to work towards maximizing the 401k. I am not there yet, but I do feel that I may be able to get there this year. So we are very blessed in that way. We will have a good 7 years retired without any income before we start taking any Social Security. So I would rather save the tax money now and then be able to do Roth conversions and pay 10% or a 12% tax then, rather than a 22% tax now. And it looks like somebody wants to join us. Little man. So that's basically where that's all going. So I try to put as much as possible into the 401k and save the larger tax, knowing that I will be converting that in just a little over a year and paying a much lower tax. So in terms of professionally, in November, I did give my notice. I gave them 1 year, which is what they had asked for. And we have had discussions about, who we need to hire to replace me. There are a couple of positions that will be hired to replace what I do. And we've talked about the timeline for that. And I am coming to terms with the fact that that means that I may not have a whole lot to do the last month or two that I'm employed, but that is the scenario that works best for my employer. They are good friends of mine, and so my goal in this whole thing was to make the transition as easy as possible for them as well as for me. So, basically you just got to do what you got to do. I don't think it's going to be easy for me to not have a lot to do. I don't do well with that, but that's my goal, is to be able to go out in style and make it as easy as possible for my coworkers who are my work family. So let's talk about my new goals that I've set for 2025 financially. I talked about already the increase in the retirement funds and the savings. I also want to try to divert some of the more aggressive dividend fund payouts. I'm only going to be reinvesting 50% of those, and I'm going to be taking 50% and putting it into either more conservative dividend funds or stocks, or I'll be putting it into the index funds for growth. And so today I actually got quite a bit of a payout for quite a few of those funds. And I went in and I reinvested 50% of those into either FNILX, which is a Fidelity zero fee fund that's mimics the S&P 500, but no investment fees whatsoever. There's no expense. I also bought some SCHD, which is a Schwab dividend fund that is a growth fund. It's a growth dividend fund and is quite stable and will give us some income as we retire. And then lastly, I did purchase some O, which is Realty Income, and that as well is a more stable dividend fund, and that one's a popular one for dividend investors who are a little bit more conservative. So in addition to that, over the last week, I've branched out by buying some Verizon, some Occidental Petroleum, I think it is, Oxy, OXY, because Warren Buffett's buying it. So I thought, I'll give it a try. We'll see. It looked good. It does pay a dividend, but the thing is that it has a lot of room to grow. So I read quite a few analyses about the company, and it's a very cyclical. The oil industry, the petroleum industry is very cyclical. So you do have to be a little bit less risk averse to be able to walk through that. But I didn't put a lot in. I put some in, and I'm going to see how it goes. And then I also got Altera, which is MO. So things that are a little bit more conservative, perhaps with the exception of the Oxy, compared to the cover call funds that I have been playing with. So, I also found one fund that was not recovering from the NAV erosion that it had seen, the capital depreciation that it had seen. And so when I see that happening, I don't let it get very far, and I sell it. So that was sold and reinvested into a more stable fund. So anyway, so that's what my goals are thus far. I continue to look at, our plans for 2025. We'll be taking a test trip in 2025, and it will involve a repositioning cruise to Europe and some time there, and then a flight to Thailand where we will actually live for a month. I will be working from Thailand, and we'll be living there, day in and day out, doing the daily stuff, and then we'll go back to Europe for a little bit longer, and then eventually home. And that will be sort of a test trip for us because we do want to do slow travel, and that's not vacation travel. That's where you just are living your life in a variety of places. So we want to see how this goes for us, and I will be sure to film it. I'll be sure to share how I got the travel deals that I got. I got some free flights. I got some free hotel rooms. I got some discounted hotel rooms, really nice ones, actually, as well as a trip that we're about to take up north where I got all free hotels, 4 nights of hotels for free. So our charges, our costs for this trip are greatly reduced. So anyway, if you have any thoughts about goals, if you've set yours, if you don't set goals, anything that you want to share, any tips or any observations about the goals that I've set, leave them below. Let's have a talk about it. I didn't set a goal, for example, of jogging again, because goals are meant to be attainable. I'm not certain that one's attainable. I would like to think that it is someday, but I can make a more realistic goal, which is just to get out, get moving, and get more steps, and to get healthier. So anyway, I hope that you have a fantastic new year, and I hope that your holidays have been lovely with your family. And I bless you.